Penguin Audio presents Losing My Cool. Written and read by me, Thomas Chatterton Williams. For my parents, Kathleen and Clarence Leon Williams, and for my brother, Clarence Leon Williams II, with all my love. People who cling to their illusions find it difficult, if not impossible, to learn anything worth learning. A people under the necessity of creating themselves must examine everything and soak up learning the way the roots of a tree soak up water. James Baldwin. I understand you. I mean, if I'm right, I think I understand you. You're like me and I'm like you. We aren't happy. The atmosphere around us is stifling. We pretend there's nothing wrong, but there is. What's wrong? We're being fucking stifled. Roberto Bolaño. Preface. This book was conceived while I was still a student in graduate school. It was initially intended to be an explicit argument, a work of cultural criticism, and not a document of my, or for that matter anyone else's, personal life. As I began writing, however, my abstract critiques gradually gave way to some very specific anecdotes, and my father's calming voice, along with the rambunctious voices of my neighbors, classmates, and old friends, flooded my mind and seeped out onto the page, seemingly with a force all their own. Czesław Miłosz, the Polish poet, once observed, "When a writer is born into a family, that family is doomed." I know what he means by that. Ultimately, the autobiographical nature of this book has led me to include scenes, stories, descriptions, depictions, quotes, and implications about myself and others with which I am certain my family, especially my father, a very private man, will not be completely at ease seeing in print or hearing aloud. The logical question, then, the question I have wrestled with over the past 2 years, is this. If you know in advance that you are going to disturb the people you love most by writing what you intend to write, why write it at all? The only way one could ever justify doing such a thing, I am convinced, is if the personal information being exposed and dealt with is not splattered about gratuitously, but is put to use always in service of some larger idea, some greater good. Mere exhibitionism for its own sake is indefensible at best. It is my sincerest hope, then, that I have met my own standard in the story that follows, and that my love is evident throughout. An additional concern presented itself as the writing grew more personal. None of the characters who populate this book, classmates, neighbors, friends, and enemies alike, was aware at the time of our acquaintance that they were opening themselves up to the scrutiny of a memoirist. With that in mind, and with the exception of my family, certain friends, and public figures, the names and identifying characteristics of most of the persons included in this memoir have been changed to protect their privacy. Chapter 1. The discovery of what it means to be a black boy. It was wintertime, early in the morning. I was in the 3rd grade, standing on the rectangular asphalt playground behind Holy Trinity Interparochial School in Westfield, New Jersey, palming a tennis ball, waiting. Ned, nearsighted and infamous for licking the dusty soles of his penny loafers in the back of social studies class, was splayed against the cold orange brick wall of the school building. He had his head down and hands up, legs akimbo with his butt out, like a South American mule bracing herself to be searched by Border Patrol. "Not so hard," he cried, glancing back over his shoulder through smudged Coke bottle lenses. "Put your head down," another boy yelled. "Fine, just do it and get it over with then," Ned muttered. "Head down," the boy said. I wound my arm back and let fly a fastball that seemed to hang in the air for a second before ricocheting from the small of Ned's back, like a Pete Sampras ace off some hapless ball boy at Wimbledon. Ned jerked upright and howled in pain. All my classmates screamed and high-fived me as the bell rang, and we rushed to grab our book bags and line up in size order before our teachers came to lead us indoors. I was still the undisputed king of butts up, I thought to myself, as I pulled my Chicago Bulls starter jacket over my uniform. Standing in line, waiting for the younger grades to file past, I began mumbling to myself bits of a song by Public Enemy, a song that my older brother had been playing at home, and that had gotten stuck in my head that week, like the Times tables or the Holy Rosary. Yo, nigga.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?